Hello, my friend. Welcome to our channel, Healing Sleep Stories. My name is Mushroom. I am a storytelling, and it is an honor to be the voice you listen to as you drift off to sleep tonight. Okay, let's begin with a short relaxation session. Just a few minutes to help you settle your mind and body before we start tonight's sleep story. This is a space for you to let go, to rest. So, take a slow, deep breath in and exhale gently, feeling the air leave your body like a soft sigh. Notice the way your shoulders drop, the way your hands loosen, the way your jaw softens without even trying. Imagine the day melting away, like sunlight fading into a quiet, star-filled sky. Now, let's step through the door together into a story that will soothe your soul, wrap you in comfort, and lull you into a peaceful, effortless sleep. Third, sun time, the E, do not missing. You're standing just outside the noise. It's not a real street, not a real building, but in that strange way, dreams create architecture out of feeling. You can tell that behind you is the entire day. Emails, conversations you only half heard, that awkward thing you said to your boss, and the blurry scroll of headlines you didn't even want to read. The air out here is cooler. A pale light, neither day nor night, spills across your path. Your feet are already moving forward, the sound soft, like a page turning in a quiet library. You notice your shoulders feel heavy, like you've been carrying two invisible backpacks all day. The straps are woven from every unfinished thought you tried to cram into the last 12 hours. But here's the thing, you don't need them anymore. Without much ceremony, you let the straps slip. The bags hit the ground with a dull thud, and in that tiny moment, there's a lightness in your spine you forgot existed. The path curves gently. On your left, there's a field of tall grass swaying in slow unison, as though the whole world is breathing in time with you. A breeze slides past, warm and steady, smelling faintly of something green, like mint tea left to cool on a windowsill. You take a step and feel the ground's texture, not quite dirt, not quite sand, something between them. It's the perfect walking surface. Even the ancient Romans, with their famously straight roads, never invented anything this comfortable. Historians still argue whether they cared about comfort or just wanted to march soldiers faster. The air has a sound to it, a low hum, as if the universe is idling patiently while you catch up to yourself. Your mind tries for a second to drag something in, an unfinished text, that stubborn question. Did I lock the door? But here, thoughts dissolve like sugar in warm water. You pass a crooked wooden sign. It points towards something called the landing. The paint is faded, but you can still make out a doodle of a feather floating in midair. Your feet follow the sign, even though the path narrows to a ribbon. Every few steps, there's a patch of wild flowers, blues and yellows so vivid they look hand-painted. A bee drifts lazily from one bloom to another, clearly on its own slow-motion schedule. You almost envy it. Somewhere in the distance, a single bell chimes. It's not the sharp, metallic kind, but rounder, softer, like someone tapped the side of a porcelain mug. The sound seems to ripple through your ribcage, loosening a knot you didn't know was there. You come to a clearing. It's circular, like an old amphitheater, carved by wind instead of stone tools. In the center is a shallow pool. The water's surface so still, it looks like a slice of glass laid flat. You kneel down beside it. Your reflection blinks back at you, but there's a delay, like it's checking whether you're ready to see yourself without the static of overthinking. This is the busy mind's soft landing, the place where you include. Here, momentum stops without you slamming into it. Imagine a plane descending, wheels grazing the runway so smoothly you barely realize you've touched down. That's what this is, except the runway is made of air, and the plane is, well, you. A ripple crosses the pool. You didn't cause it. It's as if the water is breathing too. You feel a deep, slow inhale somewhere below your navel, and for the first time all day, your exhale doesn't feel rushed. There's a bench nearby, if you can even call it that. Really, it's just a fallen tree, its bark worn soft over what must be decades. You sit, the wood warm from the filtered sunlight overhead. And now, you notice something strange. Every time a thought tries to push through, about dinner tomorrow, about how you should be doing something else, your surroundings answer it without words. The grass, the bee, the hum of the air, they all seem to shrug as if to say, not now, later. It's the world's most polite boundary. You lean back, palms against the snow, oath wood, and let your head tip toward the sky. There's no sun here, no moon, but a pale gradient of color that makes you think of early photographs. Those sepia-tinted postcards your grandparents might have had in a box somewhere. A quirky little fact drifts into your mind. In the Victorian era, some photographers painted clouds directly onto their prints because early cameras couldn't capture the sky's detail, which means people were literally adding calm skies into their memories. You can't help but smirk at the thought. You're basically doing the same thing now, only in real time. A rustle behind you makes you turn. There's no one there but a feather, pure white, the size of your palm, drifts lazily through the air. It lands beside you on the log without any urgency to explain where it came from. You don't pick it up. You just let it sit there because some things don't need to be examined to be real. The hum in the air deepens. almost imperceptibly, you notice your hands have loosened. Fingers no longer curled into the half fists you keep when thinking too hard. Your jaw, too, has given up its quiet clench. You could stay here, in this suspended moment, indefinitely. The landing doesn't demand you move on, but you feel a subtle invitation, like the air is tilting you gently toward the next place. You stand slow enough that the bench doesn't even creak. Your gaze falls once more on the still pool, which, strangely, is now rippling as though a small fish just brushed the surface. But there are no fish here. You step away, back toward the ribbon of a path. Ahead, it bends out of sight, but you can feel something shifting, like the earth is leading you into a deeper kind of quiet. You walk, the sound of your steps swallowed instantly by the soft ground, and with each step, you can't tell if you're getting lighter or if the world is simply holding more of your weight for you. The path narrows until it's barely wider than your feet, the kind of trail that makes you slow down without even thinking about it. Every step feels deliberate, almost ceremonial, like you're being quietly inducted into a club where the only requirement is that you stop rushing. Ahead, there's a low mist curled over the ground, so thin it could be steam from a cup of tea. It catches in the folds of your clothing, clinging for a second before dissolving into the air. You feel your breath shifting, less shallow, more rounded. You're not trying to breathe deeply, it's just happening, the way a body sighs when no one is watching. The mist swirls with each inhale, like it's listening. The ground here is different, softer, as though you're walking on densely packed moss. It has that faint spring to it, the kind that absorbs every step and gives nothing back in noise. There's a sound now, faint but rhythmic, a slow, low thump, not threatening, not mechanical. You realize with a small jolt that it's matching your heartbeat. The trail dips, and with each step down, the sound becomes richer, warmer. At the bottom of the slope, you find yourself in a grove of tall, straight trees. Their trunks are so close together, it feels like walking through a columned hallway. The bark is smooth and pale, patterned with faint spirals like the growth rings on a seashell. Somewhere in your head, a voice you can't quite place says, your body knows the way back. And maybe that's the point. You're here to let the body lead, not the mind, not the stubborn loop of to-do lists or imaginary arguments, just muscle, breath, pulse. A patch of sunlight filters down through the canopy, catching on a stone in the middle of the grove. The stone is perfectly flat on top, almost like it's inviting you to sit. You do, and the cool surface presses into the backs of your legs in a grounding, undeniable way. You place your palms flat against it and feel the vibration of your own pulse echoing through the stone. The sensation runs up your arms, along your spine. You can't help thinking of that odd historical fact about the singing rocks of the Sahara, how certain stones hum softly in the wind as though the desert itself is tuning an instrument. Your stone isn't singing exactly, but it's humming with something older than you. You close your eyes, not out of sleepiness, but to feel the weight of your own breathing. You notice the inhale brushes against the inside of your nose, expands your ribs, nudges your belly forward. The exhale slips out through your lips, and with it, something invisible but heavy leaves you. Your mind tries to slip in a thought about that time you embarrassed yourself in high school, but your body interrupts. Your shoulders drop another fraction of an inch, and the thought fizzles out like static. It's strange, this sensation of being anchored by your own frame. You can imagine sailors of old feeling something like that, when they finally spotted land after weeks at sea. Feet on solid ground after being rocked endlessly by waves. Historians still argue whether the Vikings navigated purely by the sun and stars, or if they felt the land's magnetic pull in their bones before they saw it. You kind of hope it's the latter. It would mean you're not the only one to trust the body's quiet compass. You shift slightly on the stone, and your fingers find a groove along the edge. It's smooth from years of water running through it, even though there's no stream here now. You trace it over and over, each pass slower than the last, until it feels less like tracing and more like a pulse syncing with yours. There's a warmth building in your core, not the sweaty, uncomfortable kind, but a steady ember that makes you feel safe. The warmth radiates outward into your limbs, dissolving the stiffness in your calves, the subtle clench in your toes. A breeze passes through the grove, bending the thin tops of the trees just enough for the light to flicker. The shift in light makes the stone beneath you feel even more solid, like it's saying, you can lean here. You take another breath, slower this time. The air seems to fill not just your lungs, but the space around you. You imagine your skin breathing too, like you're part of a larger, unseen rhythm. You remember a quirky tidbit you once heard, that some ancient meditation practices involved literally counting heartbeats instead of breaths, not to measure anything, but to remind the practitioner that life was moving whether they thought about it or not. You try it now. 1, 2, 3. By the time you reach 8, you can't remember why you started counting in the first place, which is perfect. When you finally open your eyes, you notice the mist has thinned and a new path has appeared between 2 of the tree columns. It's narrower still, but you feel no hesitation. Your body feels heavier in the best possible way, like an anchor dropped just deep enough to hold you steady. You stand, brushing your hands over the stone in a silent thank you, and step toward the new path. The thump-thump sound fades behind you, but its echo remains somewhere in your chest. The trail rises gently now, and with each step, you feel the muscles in your legs moving in smooth coordination. You're not thinking about where to put your feet. The body's got this. Up ahead, the air brightens slightly, and you get the sense that the mind, the restless, looping part, might finally be ready to sit quietly in the passenger seat. The path opens into a clearing so wide it feels like the trees have been holding their breath for you. Sunlight, if that's what it is, spills across the grass in long, slow-moving stripes, as if time itself has decided to take the afternoon off. Right away, you notice the sound. It's not the hum from before, not the heartbeat thump, but something more delicate. A faint click-clack, click-clack, like an old wooden carousel turning somewhere in the distance. You pause, listening. The sound drifts in and out on the breeze, and with it comes a peculiar image, a carousel for thoughts. Tiny painted horses, each one carrying a worry around in endless circles. Your mind's personal carnival of overthinking. You can almost see it. Your "did I say the wrong thing?" horse galloping right next to the "what if I fail?" zebra, both looking equally dramatic and unnecessarily well-groomed. As you walk deeper into the clearing, the carousel sound grows richer. You realize you're heading straight toward it, but instead of dread, you feel curiosity. Maybe you've been avoiding this ride for too long. At the far end of the clearing, you find it. Not a literal carousel, but a round pavilion made of pale stone columns. Inside, there's a circular platform with faint grooves spiraling outward, like the ridges on a vinyl record. The grooves aren't empty, they're filled with shimmering threads of light, each one pulsing faintly. The platform turns slowly, and with each rotation, you can see shapes rise out of the threads. Brief images, like little daydreams. The first one that appears is laughably familiar. You, lying in bed last week, replaying a conversation from 2 years ago, and still thinking of better comebacks. The image spins away before you can cringe too hard. Next comes a more stubborn one. The moment you forgot something important and convinced yourself you'd ruined everything. It spins past too, vanishing before you can sink into it. Why? You realize the carousel doesn't stop for any thought. It just keeps turning, making space for the next. The pace is hypnotic. You step closer, noticing a small bench just inside the pavilion. Sitting here feels dangerous, like you might get pulled onto the ride, but something inside you says, try it. So you sit. The moment you do, the spinning slows, just slightly, and the images seem to lose their sharp edges. It's like watching an old film reel where the focus is just a touch off. Your breath falls into rhythm with the rotation, in as the platform moves away from you, out as it comes back around. You're not chasing the thoughts anymore. You're watching them like clouds from a train window. A historical fact drifts into your mind uninvited. The first carousels weren't for amusement parks at all. They were training devices for knights who'd practice grabbing rings with their lances while riding in circles. Imagine that. What we now associate with cotton candy and carnival music was originally about focus, skill, and not falling off a horse, you smirk. Your carousel isn't for training knights, but maybe it's teaching you a different kind of skill. Letting thoughts pass without mounting them like a war horse. As you sit, something shifts. The platform slows to a crawl, then stops. The shimmering threads of light pulse once, twice, and then fade into the grooves entirely. The silence that follows is so complete, you can hear the faint rustle of your own clothing when you shift. And in that silence, you realize the ride only moves if you keep feeding it. A feather-light breeze drifts through the pavilion, carrying a scent you can't quite name, something between rain on stone and freshly cut wood. The grooves in the platform begin to glow again, but this time they're empty, no images forming. You stand, feeling an odd mixture of pride and relief, like you've just stepped off a moving walkway without stumbling. Your mind feels open, spacious. As you leave the pavilion, you notice an arrow stream trickling nearby. The water is impossibly clear, the kind you'd expect to see in travel magazines promising hidden alpine gems. You crouch and trail your fingers through it, the chill startling but invigorating. You remember reading somewhere that ancient Romans believed certain streams could wash the mind as well as the body. Historians still argue whether they meant that literally or poetically, but either way, you feel a little cleaner just touching the water. You follow the stream for a while, letting it lead you out of the clearing. The trees close in again, their shadows longer now, and the light takes on a honeyed tone. You realize you've gone several minutes without a single intrusive thought, and when one does appear, faint, hesitant, you watch it drift past like a leaf in the current. No grabbing, no holding, just passing. The path ahead bends gently, and you can feel it leading you toward something deeper, something quieter still. The kind of place where even the carousel wouldn't dare turn. The bend in the path guides you into a space that feels older than anything you've walked through tonight. The air here is cooler, thicker, like it's been holding stories for centuries and is only now letting you breathe them in. The trees are enormous, not just tall, but wide, their trunks so broad it would take 5 people with linked arms to encircle one. Their bark is deep set with grooves, the kind that look like they were etched by time itself rather than weather. You notice something else. There's a faint golden glow coming from beyond the trees, not bright enough to be fire, but too warm to be moonlight. You keep walking until you see it. A vast stone archway stands at the edge of a clearing, carved from dark granite shot through with veins of shimmering quartz. The arch is open, but instead of leading into another path, it frames a strange sight. Row upon row of tall shelves stretching into shadow, each lined with objects, not books, not scrolls, just small, varied things. A key without a handle, a toy bird with a broken wing, a smooth pebble the size of a coin. It feels like you've stepped into some kind of hidden archive, not of history as everyone knows it, but of you. The mind's hidden library. You step under the arch. Immediately, the air shifts. It's still cool, but in a way that makes the inside of your chest feel like it's expanding. The shelves aren't organized in any way you can see, yet you know exactly where to walk. Your feet carry you to a row near the back where the shadows are deeper. On one shelf sits a small, unassuming box made of dark wood. You open it. Inside is a memory you haven't thought about in years, something that once gnawed at you. The scene plays out in your mind. The awkward pause in a conversation, the look on someone's face, the sinking feeling in your stomach. You remember how it looped in your head back then, playing on repeat like a bad commercial. But here, in the library's cool, all stillness, it feels different. The edges are softer. The emotional weight is gone, like someone replaced the real thing with a faded photograph. You set the box back on the shelf. No ceremony, no dramatic gesture, just placing it where it belongs. You realize this place isn't about erasing anything. It's about refiling it. A thought flashes in your mind, how medieval monks would illuminate manuscripts by hand, decorating the margins with tiny gold leaves and flourishes. The text itself remained the same, but the way it was framed changed the experience entirely. Historians still argue whether this was purely for beauty or for something more spiritual. You smile. Maybe you're illuminating your own mental margins right now. You wander to another shelf. This one holds a glass jar filled with something that looks like glitter suspended in water. You lift it, and the tiny flecks swirl lazily, catching the golden glow from the archway. A memory surfaces. One of those times you were sure disaster was coming, but it never did. You give the jar a gentle shake and set it down. It's not your job to stop the glitter from moving. It will settle on its own. Further in, you find an aisle where the shelves are shorter, almost child height. You kneel, and there, tucked between two oddly shaped stones, is a wooden toy horse with one ear chipped. You remember it instantly, a gift you once lost in a move, something you thought was gone forever. The funny thing is, you don't feel the urge to take it with you. Just seeing it here is enough. In the far corner of the library, there's a wide reading table. Only instead of books, it's covered in soft cloth squares, each embroidered with a symbol. You touch one, a spiral, and suddenly a warm memory surfaces, uninvited but welcome. The texture of a blanket from childhood, the smell of laundry dried in the sun. It's such a small thing, but you feel it anchor you deeper into the present moment. You're reminded of that quirky historical tidbit about how in Kinga, ancient Egypt, people sometimes stored scented oils in hollowed out beads, wearing them so that with each movement, a little bit of the scent would warm and release. Memory, triggered by something physical, just like this. You move back toward the archway, your pace slower now. The golden light frames the exit like a picture. As you step out, the air shifts again, warmer, freer. Behind you, the library stands exactly as it was, but you have the distinct sense that it will rearrange itself the next time you visit, and you will visit again. The path ahead is familiar now, though you've never walked it. You feel lighter, not because anything has been removed, but because everything is finally where it's meant to be. The trees thin, and you hear it before you see it. The soft, endless hush of waves. The trees part, and the world ahead feels impossibly wide. The air is cooler here, carrying the faint tang of salt and something older, an ocean scent that has probably smelled exactly this way for 1,000 years. The sound of the waves is steady, unhurried. They roll in with a sigh, pause as though considering, then retreat with a faint fizz over the shore. Again and again. A rhythm older than language, older than worry. You walk toward the water, your feet sinking just enough into the sand to leave a trail. The shore curves gently, and far in the distance, a line of dark rocks stretches into the sea like a hand reaching out. The tide is low, revealing smooth stones and tiny pools of water that catch the sky in miniature. One pool holds a shell shaped like a spiral staircase. You pick it up, and the coolness of it runs into your palm, grounding you in the simplest way. You remember a fact you once read. The sound you hear when you hold a shell to your ear isn't really the ocean. It's the echo of your own blood moving through you. The ocean, it turns out, has been inside you all along. You let the shell go. The water carries it a few inches before setting it back gently, as if to say, it's yours if you want it, but you don't need it. You reach the line where the waves touch your toes. The water is cool, curling around your ankles with a kind of deliberate softness. It doesn't rush to pull away. It lingers, as though memorizing the shape of you before retreating. Standing here, you realize the waves work exactly like thoughts. They rise, they crest, they break, and they fade. Some are loud and foamy, others quiet and glassy. None of them stay. Farther up the beach, you notice something odd. A long piece of driftwood standing upright in the sand. From a distance, it looks like a mast, the remains of some old shipwreck, though there's no sign of the rest of the vessel. You walk to it, and as you get closer, you see carvings etched into the wood, spirals, waves, and simple dots that seem to map out a pattern. They remind you of the petroglyphs carved by ancient coastal cultures who recorded tides, migrations, even stories in symbols. Historians still argue about the meaning of some of them. Maybe they weren't meant to be solved at all, but simply witnessed. You run your hand over the carvings. The wood is warm from the sun, smooth in some places, splintered in others. It feels alive, even after however many years it's been here. You turn back toward the water. The horizon is a soft blur now, sky and sea blending in the same muted palette. The waves are smaller, slower. You find a spot to sit, just far enough from the tide line to stay dry, but close enough to feel the spray on the air. You pull your knees up, resting your arms on them, and simply watch. Minutes pass without you needing to film. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you think of a fringe theory you once read, that the sound of the sea matches the resting rhythm of the human heartbeat because we evolved listening to it. Whether it's true or not, you feel your own pulse syncing with the waves now. As the light shifts, the shore changes color, shadows stretching long and thin. The wind softens until it's just a cool thread weaving through your hair. You close your eyes. The image of the beach stays behind your eyelids, but softer now, like a watercolor that's been left in the rain. You hear the hiss of each wave, the faint pop of bubbles breaking in the foam, and beneath it all, silence. You breathe in salt, coolness, the faint mineral scent of wet sand. You breathe out the day, the carousel, the heaviness. The shore doesn't ask you to stay forever. It doesn't need to. You know the way back now. When you finally rise, your footprints are still there in the sand, but the tide is already moving in. In a few minutes, they'll be gone. Not erased, just folded back into the endless rhythm. You walk slowly along the edge of the water, letting the waves kiss your feet one last time before you turn toward the path home. Your steps grow smaller now, as though the air itself is encouraging you to slow, to stretch this moment until it thins into stillness. The sound of the sea fades behind you, not because it's gone, but because you're carrying it with you. Each breath holds a trace of that tide, each heartbeat echoing its patient rhythm. The path under your feet is soft, familiar, the kind that remembers the shape of your walk and makes space for it. The trees here sway gently, their leaves whispering in a language you don't need to translate. Overhead, the light turns to liquid gold, spilling through the branches and brushing your skin with warmth. You breathe it in deeply. The air feels thick with calm now, wrapping you like a blanket that's been warmed by the sun. Somewhere far ahead, you sense a door, the same one you stepped through at the start, but you're not rushing toward it. You let the moments stretch, each step melting into the next. You finally reach it. The doorway feels different, not because it's changed, but because you have. On the other side is rest, deep, uninterrupted, steady. You step through, carrying the hum of the waves, the softness of moss, the stillness of that hidden library. They are all tucked somewhere inside you now, ready to return to whenever you wish. The world beyond the door is quiet, dim, welcoming, a place where the only thing you need to do is let go. You settle there, feeling your body sink, your breath lengthen, your thoughts dissolve like footprints in the tide. And with one last slow inhale, you drift into the deepest, most gentle sleep.